Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, here we are again. Right, an evening stream. So, I'm picking up on where I left off a couple of days ago. So if you were here on, when was it, Saturday afternoon my time, I started packaging Mate desktop for the upcoming Ubuntu Mate 21.10 release. And I'm doing that work in Debian. Hey Yannick, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. And I was going to do 2 streams on Saturday. That was the plan, but my plans were dashed, and I ended up spending my Saturday evening watching Yannick's stream, going through some fusion sort of compositing effects and all the rest of it. So, what went wrong? Well, there was a change in some of the packages in the upstream Mate desktop project that conflicted with the way we package things in Debian. So I had to have a chat with the Debian developer that I collaborate with, Mike Gabriel, and we figured out a way forward, and I did get everything building. And in fact, I should probably, this is where now Martin realizes not probably prepared enough, but let's grab a browser window down here. So, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here? I appear to be missing, I'm missing nothing whatsoever. Let's switch to this view here, and then we can see what I'm moving around. There we go. Disaster averted. Right then, so hopefully I can line this up here, and let's see, am I authenticated? Yes, I am. Fantastic. So the current status is this. We've got a PlayPark PPA, and I'll just get more central now we're into this view. Hey, hello John, welcome back. It has been a while. Hello, welcome back Jeff. Hey Big Pod, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for your help unpicking this stuff. You know all about being ready. Yeah, I'm not trying to be too casual about this, but I'm trying to get back in that groove of streaming regularly, just, you know, getting stuff done. I know what I'm going to do. I don't have any notes because I do know what I'm about to be doing this evening. Hey, Musical Coder, welcome back. Nice to see you again. How are you? So what we've got here is a PPA with all of Mate Desktop 1.26 built for Impish, which is what will become the 21.10 release. I'm struggling with the version numbers these days. This year 21 is messing with my head. So these packages are all built, as we can see from the green ticks, but what I have left to do is I need to push these changes to Debian, and then I need to rebuild those packages and upload them to Ubuntu proper, as opposed to this PPA. So that's what I'm going to be doing this evening. Hello TC, how you doing? Welcome back. Nice to see you again. It's lovely to have so many familiar names returning. So for those of you that didn't see earlier, I've started doing like a cup of tea morning live streams, and they're going to be quite regular. I'm definitely going to be doing one tomorrow morning. I may do them most mornings. They're obviously European time, so if you are tuning in now and you're in Europe, then get following here, because I will be streaming most mornings between about 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in that window. Not necessarily for 2 hours, but like an hour and a bit, somewhere in that window. And then I'll continue to do these sort of more ad hoc, but hopefully more frequent evening streams. So the morning streams are sort of a chat, go over some stuff, learn some things together. I'm going to be trying out stuff that I haven't done before or I'm coming back to in a long time. And these ones are more going to be I have a task to complete and I'm going to sort of work through it, but you know, have a chat along the way. So there we go. Hello, Ubuntu on air. Hello, who on earth is that? Somebody's logged in with the wrong account. I'm gonna guess. Right. So let's just have a little think for a moment. So and I'm going to do this. Very, very good, Danny. I think you could be right. I think that may well be. Very good. Right. So in the past, when I've done these sort of updating packaging, I've done it all by hand. And if you tuned in on Saturday, you will have seen that I started off that way for those people that had not seen it before. Yes, Danny, you are. I made that change earlier. So Danny's just noticed that they're a VIP now. And then I shifted to using a script I wrote some time ago that iterates over all of the packages and will make like a discrete change at a time. And I'm going to try and use that script to iterate over things, to do a bunch of changes sort of in bulk across the suite of Mate packages to sort of speed up the time it takes me to get all of these changes done. So that's the plan. Oh, Monica, still at work. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining, everyone. And I've done something slightly different here this evening. I've not announced this one on Twitter, and I have not announced it anywhere else. So I am just curious to see how many people the Twitch notification system sort of triggers. So we'll see how that goes. So you're a core group of followers, and if anyone's joining and they've not said hello yet, do say hello in chat. Even if you're new or returning, it's always great to sort of get to know the names of the people that are joining here. I like to try and learn who people are and what their interests are. Right. Oh, musical coder, how handy. I'm also going to do something, try and do something with Twitch. What I'm calling the morning cuppa streams, I'm going to start uploading those to Twitch as videos and putting them in like a highlights reel, and I'm going to do the same on YouTube as well, so for anyone that can't see them in the morning, and also for sort of longevity, actually uploading them. So we'll see how that goes. Hello Mateus, thank you for stopping by. Now I know I'm going to say Yamiyuki Senpai, and I can't I remember that there was another name that you wanted to be called by, but that was some time ago and I can't recall what it was. But you're watching this on the Rolling Rhino release. Very good. Right, so without further ado, let's find out where Visual Studio Code is hiding. Here it is, over here somewhere. Let's resize it because it's a massive window. Let's bring that in down here. So, whoa, gosh, no, I don't want it that big. That's too big. Let's try that. There we go. Did you know about the keyboard shortcuts in Ubuntu Mate that resize the window for you? Tile and resize the tile. I've now got an ultra-wide monitor in my other office, and using that's great because you can now stack windows. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. So that was Arctica Greta, which is uploaded. So let's have a think. We need to go to Debian and PKG Mate. let's close this change log because we will hopefully not need this right now. So this is my little bulk script, and it's super jank, but it's useful. It's useful to get stuff done. So it basically, you give it this big old list of package names, and it loops over that list of package names, and then will do anything that I define down here. So if I look down here at the moment, it will change into the directory for the package, and then I'll just make sure everything is commented out down here. And these things that are sort of commented out, are commented out, they're like different steps in the process of modifying a package, committing stuff to Git, and uploading a package. And what I'll do is turn bits of this script on at a time and run the script and have it do a bunch of stuff. So the first thing I want to do is just do a Git status on each of the packages, and that's just going to show me what stuff hasn't yet been pushed. And the other thing I need to open, hello, what happened there? The other I need to open is in my transfer directory. I've got that file there. So this is stuff that I observed that was broken or needed work. So these are some notes, partly put together from my own observations and partly put together from the observations of BigPod, who made some changes to the packaging for CI/CD. So here's BigPod's notes that I copied in there and then cross-referenced when I was working out my own stuff. Other things that I need to do are these things, and I actually did that one on this morning's cup of tea stream. So Redshift is back in Ubuntu Mate 21.10 because the bugs that were affecting it, which caused us to remove it in the last release, have now been fixed. So today I'm really just going to be wanting to get all of this packaging committed up to Debian, with the exception that I'm not going to push the Debian watch file because we're still debating like the way forward there. But for the purposes of what I need to do in Ubuntu, I can use the changes that we've agreed to build packages that have Git submodules inside them. So let's save that and go here. I think what we'll do is we'll open up a script, terminal even, not a script. We'll move you here. And we'll run this script, which should just give me the status. So there it is. That just ran over everything, and we can see a status for each of the packages. Now I know about the change logs because that's obviously a change that every package should have. So I think what I want to do is just do a diff on that to make sure those don't have any unexpected changes in them, because I noticed a couple of the packages I may have put 2 entries inside. So I'll just do that and run it again. Oh, hang on, what have I got wrong there? Oh, of course. Let's put the full path in, shall we? That would be good. So there we go. So if I just go down this list very quickly, I think there's close to 40 packages in total. So we can see that the only difference here is that that is what I've pushed, and this is what I'm currently building in the PPA. So all of these are fine. What I was concerned about is that I might have multiple new upstream release in some of the packages, but oh, there we go, there's one. So Kaja, I need to make a note of about that one. similarly Mate Session Manager. So there was a couple. Oh, there we go. And Mate Panel. So I don't quite know what I did to do that, but some of them, as you can see, I did have 2 updates in there, and I don't know how that happened. So well, there's nothing I can do about that other than push the corrected version, but there's not too many of them. But Mike will slap the back of my hands for that, because he likes tidy Git changes. Oh, look at that, I didn't spot. So I think the first thing I want to do is we know that there's going to be changes to the Debian control file. So in some cases, so let's try and find those. Oh, there we go. Okay, git add. Right, so this is what we want to do here. I don't want to make any version changes because we've done that. And then we will do this here, which will add the Debian control file for each thing, and then run this commit Debian control. We don't care for that one. And relver up the top here, I'm pretty certain I've already updated. Yes, 26. So that's just got a little variable in it to say dependencies updated. So we will do that and run it. And I think that will be fine. So let's run that. I need to put in my signing key password. Okay, not my signing key, my Git password. So for those packages that had a control file that needed updating, that has now been updated. So we will go back to here. We're done with the control file. And now we need to look for the symbols, I believe. So I think I'm going to have to do those by hand because there's so few of them. So we'll come back down and we'll just make a big old list again by doing Git Status. Hello, Adam, how are you? Welcome back, Linux Paul. Thank you for stopping by. Right, we're unpickling the mess I got into on Saturday. So let's just run that again. So we have some that we need to revisit patches for. So maybe I will just do all of the install files because we know those can go in. So I've tested all of this stuff. So let's go back up to here. Where was the control? Well, let's do it here before the copyright. Right, so the install files are what says to the Debian package manager, take these files, install them in this place on the host system, and you know, as software evolves over time, files get added and removed, so those install files sometimes need a little bit of massaging. So we'll do git add Debian start.install, and we'll where is the control one? Up here? Yeah. We'll steal that and say many of those were there? I'm beginning to wonder if I should do this by hand. There's not many, is there? Oh, we could do the symbols. We know about that. Let's make this symbols for the moment, because those can definitely go in. So the symbol files track what functions and methods exist in libraries, and we build those with symbol awareness so that we can track API changes. And there were a few. Some introduced by myself, in fact. Oh, I've got the same problem. I need to know the actual name. Let's just do this. I think we'll do this. Dependencies updated. In fact, let's do both. There we go. Right, we'll run this over again and maybe just very quickly turn this one off at the bottom. It is off. Okay, run that again. So we should now have all of the symbols and installs updated, so we can turn Git Status back on again. We'll comment these out because this job is done. So you can see, if you've ever seen me updating packages by hand, you know, it takes a few minutes for each one, and we're just sidestepping a lot of that. So if we have a look here, we know there are some copyright changes. I'm deliberately not going to do all the copyright changes because that's major boring work and it takes hours and nobody needs to see that. I mean, it's important work, but man, I hate it. So I'll do that some other time because it takes forever. So most of these files are updated. So watch files we're not pushing. I've agreed that with Debian upstreams. And if there's anything about the patches series, then that means I need to come in and do some work. So it looks like Marco, in fact, I'll have lists of those. So I think I'll deal with the patches because for the most part that should just be removing references to patches that have been merged into the upstream project. Xbox Series X in dev mode. How fancy. Can you do much with an Xbox Series X in dev mode? I know nothing about these things. Can you install UWP binaries? You know, install executables on it in dev mode. Good evening, Mr. Hazen. Thank you very much for stopping by. You've installed RetroArch. Okay, so that'll be a yes then. Very good. So you're not in dev mode because you're making a game. You're in dev mode so you can install stuff. Yeah. Okay. Right. Good. Good. I learned about this when I was writing games with Godot. You can export to UWP, which I haven't done yet because you have to generate some signing keys using a Windows Visual Studio install, which I don't have. So I've just got basic bitch Windows binaries being exported from my Linux system, but they work well enough. In fact, I noticed when I did the game jam, anyone else that was just making a game on Windows, for Windows, they would list on itch works on, you know, it would work on Mac OS, Windows and Linux. They obviously know Wine and Proton are a thing, and they don't have to port their games to other architectures or platforms even. Okay, so there's a few patches I spotted there, so I think we'll get in and sort those out. We'll start with Marco. Because I know that both of those have been applied upstream. So we will copy that. Ooh,
Thank you for the follow H0SS00312.
Thank you very much. As the nice lady said, thank you very much. So we'll do that. And maybe I'll do this in this kind of view here. 002, wasn't it? Yeah. So we'll add the series, and then we'll do Debian Patches, and then paste in the name of that file. Say that's what we're removing, and say applied upstream, because I know it is. Ooh, spellings. You're not smart enough to make a game. I tell you what, you absolutely are. It is way easier than you would imagine. I was mega impressed with Godot. If you're prepared to invest, well, I don't know how to measure it, maybe in hours. Let's say 20 hours of reading and learning about Godot. I reckon it's within the grasp of just about everyone with basic programming skills to be able to make a game in Godot. It's very, very good. So we're now going to get rid of the other patch. Whoops, we don't want to get rid of that, that's for sure. Patches. There we go. That was the patch I wrote, in fact, which is now a feature. We will now delete that line. Debian Patches series. We'll just overtype that with the other patch name. There it is. That's now applied. And if we just do a Git Status, good. We've only got changelog outstanding, which is what we want. So that's that one. Let's just have a look in here. Which one else says patches? Settings, daemon. Okay, let's go and take a look at that. Yes, Andy Hazen speaks the truth. There are excellent video tutorials on YouTube. Some of them are created for sort of high school student education level, which was quite my speed at the very beginning. I quite appreciated those ones. They were dead handy. And once you've grasped the sort of basics, there's a lot of people doing purely Android game development with Godot, and using Google Play services and doing stuff with PostgreSQL and Amazon Web Services and just everything you can imagine. And there's video tutorials that explain how to do all of those things. I really liked one about using Google Play services to do high score tables in Google Play services and matchmaking and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty good. So I find it interesting, those people that are using Godot just to make mobile games on Android, but using all of the features of sort of Google Play services. So Monica suggests Wimpy's World Game Jam. I have considered it. I don't know that I have enough of a pull in the indie game development arena to pull that off. There are, if you go and look at itch in the Game Jam schedule, there are bazillions. So I don't think the world needs another one from the likes of me. There are plenty going on. Yeah, exactly. Right then, so let's just look in here. So that's fine, and then I turned off that patch. So the question is, have the RDA patches been merged into Mate settings daemon upstream? Let's find out. And those patches are written by Mike Gabriel, who I was referring to earlier, who's the Debian developer that I collab with. He's the maintainer for X2Go and other things. Why am I here? This is the wrong place. Oh, come on, fingers. Right. Settings. So the way I'll know if these are in there or not. Oh gosh, it's still outstanding. Oh, hang on, this is a different one. Don't apply stored monitor configuration. This is the patch, isn't it? This is the actual patch we're just referring to. I think. Respect code style file doesn't use tabs. Okay. Don't apply stored monitor configuration. So bother. Let's see if, so there doesn't appear to be anything that says this patch upstream is not applying cleanly to master. I mean, this is ancient, and I'm sure it's the version that I have here. So why isn't that applying to this? That's a problem. Nope, not Git Status. Right. Yeah, that is the same patch. Ah. No, it is a diff, not a patch. Well, I am very confused about that, because it says it can apply cleanly upstream. Huh. Well, bother. Let me just try and turn that on again and see what happens. I'm not reading that wrong, am I, Andy? That's definitely a patch that GitHub says can apply to master, and yet here I am with a patch that doesn't apply cleanly. Let's build a source package and see what it does. Nope. Hang on a minute. That's saying, yeah, it's saying it doesn't apply. Okay, I'll just head over here and I will say to Mike. In fact, no, I won't. I'll do that in the morning because I'm going to get him out of bed otherwise, given his time zone. So I will leave that one alone for now. We will leave that off for the purposes of me building. And I'll come back to it. So I'll note that this is so I know what I need to do about that. Why is this? Why does this keep doing this? word wrap. Why does word wrap keep being turned on? I never use word wrap. Okay. So, Mate Session Manager submodules, that's taken care of. So, Mate panel. Let's go and look at what patches are in Mate panel and if they're still required. They're all, I've got a bad feeling about this, they're all RDA patches, and I bet they're not merged upstream. Oh, no, this looks good. Oh, there's one. Why is this one still being debated? Any updates to conflicting files with master? Oh, do I need to sign in to set? Ah. One mini moment. That'll be the problem. Not that one. Just signing into GitHub. I'm going to need a phone, aren't I? Bother. Right, stick here. Right, okay, put the magic number in. Right, there we go. So we're signed in. Now let's go and see what it makes of those patches. I bet it says something now to tell me that they don't apply to master. Gosh, this was a long conversation. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see the conflict messages. Right, there's a pro tip. Sign in to see that stuff. Yeah, so we've figured it out. It's you have to log into GitHub to see the conflicts. There you go. Who knew? Thanks for stopping by, Monica. What's this? The Ubuntu? Oh, Ubuntu Game Jam. Now that's more. That's got a bit more. That's got a bit more traction, I think, hasn't it? Yeah, exactly. I was surprised, but today I learned. So that's one patch, which is make the Mate panel aware of being run inside a remote desktop. I wonder if that is 4 discrete patches. There it is. So I think that these other ones, 1, 2, 3, are applied, or Mike added these and they're discrete. So let's go and look at this as a patch and see how many patches there are, and if there are 4 of them. There are 4 of them, so there we go. We've got 4 discrete patches in there, and that's what we're looking at. So we've got the same issue. I'm not going to refactor those RDA patches. I did it once and it was a blooming nightmare. I can pick the bones out of that. So this is the same. So next up, I've dealt with that. We've done the symbols. Debian rules. Ah, right. Okay. So we do have that one. We can go and submit that one discreetly. So Mate media. There should be a change to the rules file here. There it is. So we'll just code that and remove those entirely. Oh, which I have done. I have removed them entirely. So Debian rules. There we go. So that's that one done. Okay. And we've dealt with that. And then there's a patch to remove here for the power manager, which is my patch, and that can go. So no problem with that. This is because the Power Manager UI has been completely refactored in this release. Well done, Danny. I'm glad you knew. I broke your chat output, did you? Looks fine to me. I can see that. It looks fine in the stream to me, and unless that emoji is not how it's supposed to be represented. Right, what we're doing, we've got a patch to get rid of, so oh, hello. What's going on here? Why? Oh, yes. It's not applied there. Right. This was because Debian upstream no longer want Ubuntu patches in the patches directory, so we had to fudge this. So we'll get rid of that. Oh, not run, RM. And Debian rules. Get rid of that line there. And so that's that one done. Is there anything else outstanding? Just the changelog. Okay, good. That's that. Next was Actual, which is the submodules thing. So that's all taken care of. Oh boy, there's so many Dropbox patches, and I didn't see any of these changing upstream in this release, so I don't know why these don't apply cleanly either. But let's check out what they do. Well, let's code Debian Patches 1005. What does this one do? Use var lib Dropbox. Okay. I think actually that one might have been done. No, it can't have been. This is definitely a Debian specific patch. Can't imagine that these are upstream. So let's look at where is this being patched? Dropbox.in. Where? Parent directory, apparently. Okay. There it is. So it's oh, well, that's how curious, because that is different to. So something changed. Oh no, there it is. So it has changed. Something's changed in there. So that's going to need refactoring, that patch. Okay. I'll make a note of that one to come back to. And actually thinking about it, let's just go and look. I don't think this is super critical for the moment. We can get away with this, I think, because if we look upstream at all of the commits that have happened, what have we got? This is CI/CD, translations, copyright, CI/CD. Here we go. These bother. These look important. Okay. Oh no. This is static analysis fixes, isn't it? Okay, that looks more important. Okay. That's a build thing. Okay, and there's that. So there isn't that many supercritical things. Oh my goodness, what's this name here? Welcome. Adpocalyptic. Hang on a minute. I don't think I recognise the name. Are you new here? Hello. Welcome. Right then. Fixing errors in your horrible C#. Right. I'll go with Ad. That's much easier. Welcome to the stream, Ad. Right, okay. That one's going to need a refactor, but it's not mega important. So let's look at the desktop file change. Oh, no. Let's try that again. And that literally does that. No shebang. So how can this not apply to the first file? So data, Kaiser Dropbox desktop. I hope that this has been applied upstream. That's what I'm hoping. I'm in the wrong area. There we go. So data. Perfect. That's been applied upstream. When though? Well, I don't suppose it matters when it has been done. So that one we can just drop. So we will... Patches. Actually, I'm just going to check I've read that correctly. The unpatched file I want to just take another look at. No, it's definitely fixed, isn't it? Okay. Well, that's curious. I don't know why we're not seeing that. So we remove that one, and we will get rid of that. Git add Debian Patches series. Oops. So we're going to drop a patch here. Oh, is the patch removing it, did you say? Oh. Whoops. Oh, you could be onto something here. Your eagle eyes, Mr. Hazen. Hang on. Yes. Well, why the heck doesn't that work? How can that patch not apply cleanly? It's the first line. It's the first line in the file. Okay. Log. No? Following untracked. Oh. Save the thing back. I am very confused about that. So that patch is back. How is it possible that that is not working? 1005. Oh, that one we can comment out. What? The patch has fuzz, which is not allowed. How is that possible? I can't find the file to patch. Oh. Can't find the file. That's even more bewildering. How can it not find that file? It's clearly there. Oh, desktop.in. The name of the file has changed, hasn't it? Well, that's easily fixed then. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we both got there. So that's why it was updated in that I18N change, because they've obviously made this a input file for. Right, now let's try. Right, that patch applies. Good, good. Let's just make sure that's the only change. Yes, it is. Okay, that's now working. So now we've got this patch here, which was also don't advertise Dropbox too much, it says. What? Oh. So, Parsha Dropbox.in. Okay, let's go and see. Hopefully that's just moved. So, 55. I can't believe some of the patches that we have to... Parsha Dropbox.in, line 55. Info equals 67. It's 67 now. So we're gonna... Oh, I've got a creepy crawly. 67. Let's see if we can just... being got by a thing. Right, let's just save that. And... Oh. Let's see if we can get away with this. Oh. Punk failed it. If I overcompensated, should it be 66? No. Oh. That string is the same, I assume. Ah, there we go. That's the issue. Right. The original string is now that. So we'll do that. And then we'll take this line, do that, wrap it in internationalization, like so, drop that, and then save it. Right then, let's just see if that is close, probably. Oh, is that Salty? Salty. Hello, welcome. Yes, I'm still a Dropbox user too. Note the is outside the quotes. Outside the quotes. You're dead right. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, oh, did that? No, Hunk failed at 67. Okay, I'm going to guess it's... What? Are we not? Oh, I see. You're saying it should be like that. I think is what Dan's saying. No, what am I doing wrong here? Come on, let's go and look at the original. No, it's inside the braces. Quotes are inside the braces. So... Oh, there we go. That's what's wrong. I've got an extra carriage return where I shouldn't have one. Right, let's try now. No. It's a translation function, I suspect. Yeah, it is. It's get text, isn't it? Maybe this needs to be 66 to 67. I feel like I've got my strings right now. Oh. Let's go and take this again. maybe I should just have left the offsets alone. So if I do that, that's definitely correct. And this was originally 55. Let's go back to 55 and just see if leaving that well alone, it's fine. Nope. 64, you reckon? Okay, I'll give that a whirl. Why 64? What did I miscount? No. Might be 10 now. What's 10? The hunk numbers can be funky sometimes when you're changing. Does the 7 need to change? So you think the 7 should be 10. The line number needs to account for the... So... Did that go? No. It got close. It did. No. That's it. That worked. That did apply. Oh, the patch has fuzz. No, 10 is wrong, I think. 7 looks right to me. Okay. Go back to 7. And you think 64. So let's just go and look. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I don't want to check the repository out and then edit it. Oh, actually, bloody hell. Let's do it the right way. Let's do it the right way. Yeah. Oh, all right. I'm going to try one last time. Big Pod's got a suggestion. So you've got 6410 needs to be 6411. Plus 6410 needs to be 6411. And is the file name right? Yes, I think it is. Yeah, kaja-dropbox.in. Let's do it the right way. Let's find out. Right. It doesn't format the patches in the same way when you do it. Like, oh no, it's 64.7. There you go. It is 64.7. Then that's even more confusing. Given that well, let's oh no, not that one. Debian. There we go. One refactored patch. Why did that not work? I'm now curious to see what the actual diff looks like. Oh, okay. Well, Oh, because the other lines have also got internationalization on them. That's the problem. The rest of the lines in the patch. Yeah. Oh, Andy, you've got there. There we go. Mystery solved. Well, that's when trying to bodge it, cowboy it, is not a good idea. So, what have we got here? The series. Yes, that's fine. So let's just do git add Debian Patches 2000 and something. Git commit Debian Patches and the name of that file. Okay, so then we've got this one. So I suppose we could go and take care of this as well, right? So let's go and... oh no, we've done that one. It's the 1005 thing. There it is. Don't save. Get rid of you. So this is 2 lines, apparently, allegedly. So we should be able to make those changes fairly straightforward. What file is being patched here? Oh. So, parent directory needs to be changed to that. I'm not a fan of this patch in Debian. No, I'm not a fan of this patch that has been added to Debian. So that is the change that we're making. And then the other change we're making is to find the line that says that. And then after, we are lobbing that in there. Save that. Bring up the diff. Let's just grab. Oh, hello. Oh, I see. This patch overlaps with the... Hang on. The other one. Oh, God, I've got to go and remove that other change. Now remove that patch. So that should... Hang on. Why have I got... of course. Let's take the upstream info line, put that back. Oh, I've actually removed it entirely. Oh, go me. Okay. Right, extract. There we go. This is where, and there it is. It's in there, right? So now save that and get our patch again. Hopefully, it's a smaller patch now. There we go. So let's take this and pull that over the top of this one. Series. Oh, because I'm not in the right place. Uncomment you and rebuild the source package. Please build. Woo! Right then, that's that. So Git Status. There it is. Yeah, it's because we'd made the change in the same file earlier. I'd got that, you know, diff in there. So I was manually, you know, pull that out to just get what is in this patch. I feel that patch 2001 is unnecessary, but there we go. Such is dealing with, you know, packaging in Debian. Yeah. Just sodding about for, you know, changing a string that nobody's ever going to read. Right. I think that's waiting. Yes, okay. So git commit Debian Patches, and then it's this one. Refactored even. Okay, gosh, that was a lot of messing around, wasn't it? Okay, so that's Dropbox done. So let's get that one closed. That one we don't mind now, and that one. So Dropbox, those three patches are done. Kaja extensions, so that was an install file issue. We've dealt with that. In Grandpa, we know about the submodules. That was a control file change, so we've done that. That was a control file change, so that's been done. That submodules thing we know about. That was a control file change, so it's done. Mate Utils has patches. Okay. These be trivial patches. Let's just edit that, and then there we go. Oh, we know this is fixed. Okay, I can just remove this. I know exactly what this is. So we will do that. So this was a translation issue, but it's fixed. Right then, okay, let's not have typos. That'd be good. Right, okay, that was good. That was a nice easy one, thankfully. Okay, oh, Pluma, gosh, this is a big change. So, Pluma has patches, so it's all change in Plumaville. So I bet none of these patches are relevant anymore because they're probably in the plugins directory, which I have not packaged yet. So let's take a look and see what's in here. I am almost certain that is going to be applied upstream. You'd hope so, at least. So it is literally user bin 3 in what file? Plugins, external tools, data, switch C. That might actually be in another package now anyway. But let's go and have a look. So Pluma. And it was in, external tools, data, switch C. No, we want that browser. Oh, file's not there anymore, is it? Unless I was just looking in the wrong place again. Plugins, external tools. Let's try that again. Plugins, external tools, data. Is it desktop or tool? Tool. Yeah, that's applied upstream. Okie dokie, that's nice and easy then. So we'll first of all delete that line. Right then, let's get that file in there. And that is applied stream. And that should be that one done. So at this point, we're here. Kaja Actions has patches, so that's being brought into the Mate desktop project. Yeah, so there's a new package, BigPod, which hasn't been packaged yet, which is Pluma-plugins. So a whole bunch of interesting plugins from the Gedit 2 era have been brought into a separate plugins project in the Mate desktop upstream and refactored, rewritten, and they're in a new thing. But I haven't done any of that packaging for those yet. We will probably not do that for this release. I'll probably jam it in a PPA at some point soon and then get it included in the next cycle. But there's some nice stuff in there. There's a terminal editor and stuff. What did you miss? A lot of fanning around with patches in Dropbox is what you missed, John. Yes, Big Pod. No additional work for you at the moment. Yeah, you're fine. So, Kaja Actions, however, this is now part of the Mate upstream project, Big Pod, and packaging exists for this in the Mate packaging team in Salsa. And obviously this release has a big version bump from, I think it was like 1.8, and it's now been bumped up to 1.26 to be in step with the rest of the stuff. So let's just take a look at its patches, of which there are 3. Okay, let's open all of them. So the first one is fix a typo in the word unknown. Okay. So I just need to search for this string. Docs reference HTML. Nope. Okay. Docs reference HTML. Hang on a minute. Well, docs reference doesn't even exist anymore. Okay. That could be why that patch doesn't apply cleanly. So we'll we'll get rid of that then. Let's just look in here. Nope, doesn't exist. Okay, that's easy then. Get rid of you. Okay. Debian Patches. It was 1000 and something, wasn't it? There we go. Right then, that's that one done. So let's go and look at no extra license file patch. Don't ship copying file in there. Okay. Okay. Wonder why, but unless I'm missing something, that file doesn't exist anymore either. Make file AM. Oh, there it is. Can't see it for looking. And what were we looking for? Copying. Copying and copying docs. There they are. Okay. 81 and 82. And it was 86 apparently. Are we gonna do this the right way this time? I think I'm gonna learn from my lessons. We're gonna do this the right way. So Debian development, Mate desktop, Azure actions. No, you're just typing a bunch of numbers at me, Dan. That's not helping. Code. What are we doing? Make file AM. Down here. Whoop, there it was. There they are. There they are. Oops. Okay, 78,6 is all it is. So let's just there we go. Copy that. Paste that over the top of this. Looks like the indentation has changed, hasn't it? Did you get that right? Hey there, Pro Gamer, how you doing? Right then. Let's see if that I'm in the wrong directory. What are we in? We're in Kaja Actions now, aren't we? Oh, what have we got here? Oh, well, there's disappointing. Why did that fail? 78,8 to 78,6. Well, there we go. I've just taken that directly out of a patch against master, and it doesn't like it. Ah, oh, man. What the heck? I have saved this, haven't I? Okay. Oops, what did I just do there? Spell check references, go away. I mean, I can't think of a reason why that wouldn't work. Definitely captured everything, right? Did I have a space there that I shouldn't have? No. Depasting. It changed tabs to spaces. Oh, that's a very good point, Dan. It could well have done, couldn't it? Okay, let's do this then. Debian Patches, something 2000, right? 2003. So wang that over the top of that patch and then paste that there. You were right, damn, well done. Oh, in the wrong directory again. We'll go back where we were. Yes, and now we're failing on the last patch in the series, which is just fine. So let's get that added. So in Twitch, there's a new Linux tag now. Is there really? Martin goes and clicks edit stream info. Can I do this midstream? Holy smoke, there is only a Linux tag. Thank you for that top tip. I have added the appropriate tag to this. Brilliant. Thank you for that. That's awesome. I'm very pleased about that. Internet points for Danny. This is true. Right. Let's add 2000 patch. There we go. Git commit will say that's been refactored. Okay, and then we've got one last patch to take a look at, so let's go and do that. This one here, code Debian Patches. There is no such patch. What? What was this then? What was... So there is a reference to a patch that isn't in what? Oh, I forgot to add the series file to this patch. Okay. So, that's curious. There's a reference to a patch that doesn't exist. Yeah. Well. What have you got here? A link to something. Let's go and click on that link. It's added to the series, but no patch. Who did that? Was it me? Thank God it wasn't. Okay, so maybe at some point that got removed. So I will just remove a reference to a non-existent patch, in which case. Because it clearly does build these days. Okay. Oh. Let's just tidy that up. Right. Okay. Well, that was very curious. Thank you for that one, Andy. That was helpful. Right. I think that then means we've now finished doing this, so we're up to date here. So let's go back to where we were a little while ago, and we'll run this big old thing here. We'll just make sure nothing's enabled in here, nothing going on here. We'll just do a git status, and yep, that'll do. Goes follow along. Yeah, they're brilliant, aren't they? This is the closest thing to pair programming I think you can get. And I kind of rely on them now. I kind of go into this a little bit sloppy. if some of these people don't turn up, it all goes horribly wrong. Right then, what was I going to do? We're going to run this and just take a look at the status. So in fact, let's run that in here. So there is curiously a copyright change in here, which I'm a bit confused by because I deliberately didn't touch the copyright files. Ah, what's this? Mate Utils has a modified... Oh, bother. What have I forgotten to do? Oh, I forgot to commit that as well. Okay. Ah. Oh, it's the G-Search one. Okay. That one. Okay, so that's that taken care of. Let's just look. What have we got? Watch files I don't care about. Change logs. That's fine. They're all pushed with the correct versions. So... Oh, and there's a series file I've missed. Oh, that's because that one has got all of the RDA stuff that needs redoing. So I can't do anything about that. Oh, and settings daemon was the same, wasn't it? That was RDA as well. Okay. I think, in which case... Mate settings daemon. Well, let's do whatever, let's do it here. So I'm just thinking, do I want to rebuild and upload all of this stuff again to the PPA? Because to be absolutely sure everything's fine and dandy, I should probably have it all build, but that seems a bit unnecessary to me. We know the patches apply cleanly. None of them were significant like code changes. They were all build system and strings, so I don't think there's going to be a problem. So I'm inclined to not do that. So let's do this instead. Oh no, actually, yes, we could do something. What we could do is this. Ooh, decisions. I think we will do that thing where we want to check the version. So we've got PPA suffixes on the versions at the moment. So let's just take a look here. Oops. Got a new mouse arriving tomorrow. This one I just couldn't get on with. Not after, I don't know, 30 something years using ambidextrous mouse. I just cannot get used to this sculpted thing. So going back to ambidextrous. Right. I think what we need to do is a whole bunch of these sorts of things, don't we? But instead of Ion, so we need to do something like that, but we'll do it for no head. So Impish. There we go. That's what we want. Oh, I don't want to do it in files. I just want to do it find and replace. There we go. All of them. Where's the all of them? There we go. Get rid of this. There we go. Save that. So let's just make sure we're not doing anything else there. We're not. Save that. Go over here. Run this script again. We should end up with a bunch of clean version numbers, which we appear to have. So we'll just run down this list and make sure everything is 126.0 with 0 Ubuntu 1 for Impish on the end there. That is looking good. Oh, yeah, that's a short name. So the only thing I need to do is okay. It's multi-panel. Debian Patches series. Whoops. Go away. Didn't mean to do that. So, multi-panel. I need to disable that thing up here because we don't need to do that again. Might as well get rid of those. Right then, we know that's good. Why am I here? What am I doing? I wanted to check one last thing. Oh, it was multi-panel, wasn't it? Because oh no, I didn't mean to do that. That I did not want to do. Just going to remove these from the local build. Yeah, that'll do. And Mate settings daemon. Similarly, we'll do that. Okay then. So we will now come back here and we'll rebuild source packages again. loves them some bash. What's this? Stuff like this. I did stuff like this, I guess. Something like... Yeah, so this script is kind of one of those things where one day I was updating, or a new version, it was ages ago, a new version of Mate Desktop was out, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to go through all those files by hand, so I just wrote this thing that set the version numbers in all the right places and committed the changes and pushed them. And then, of course, what happens is over time you know, do other stuff with it. So yeah, it probably does need turning into an actual tool written in a proper language like Python. But at the end of the day, it's only running a bunch of commands, so a shell script's fine. But maybe these like discrete changes could be functions, so you can just call, you know, the function that you want to do. So it could be made betterer, but it's, you know, it's serviceable for making a bunch of quick changes. Right. What do I want to do now? I want to delete a load of stuff. I want to delete changes files. Build info files. The upload files can go. The DSC files can go. And I think everything else is fine. That can all stay now. Good. Right then. So in this directory, we'll now run a bunch of scripts which rebuild source packages with the correct version numbers in the changelog file. Which is down here somewhere, as I think out in my head. Okay, come on, down here. I know there's a thing which is going to build source packages. Here we go. No. That's the uploading, so the source packages must have been built up here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So that's what we need to do, is that. So let's go over here and run that. That will take a little mini moment to build all of those. Yeah, when I don't write Python when you're just going to be doing a load of, you know, OS, you know, process calls or, you know, system calls or whatever, which are basically just shelling out and doing stuff. So then it's just a shell script because the overhead of the Python's not that useful. So while that's running, I'll just modify my script but won't save it, because the one that I'll run after this is this one, to make sure that we have all of the artifacts ready for uploading. So where are we up to? What package are we on? I think that was Mate Terminal I saw whiz by. Oh, it might be beer o'clock. Is it beer o'clock? Right, there we go. So that's done. So we'll come back here now, save this and run it again. And now we can see the artifacts. So we can see we should have 2 for every entry. Mate common we do not have. bad, Martin. What have you done? Okay, let's figure out what's going on there then. The version number is right. Let's build a source package. That worked. Let's go back here, run that again. There we go. So is Mate Common missing from the top of this list of files? No. I don't know what to make of that, but that's fixed it. Okay, so those are ready to upload to Ubuntu, technically speaking. But we won't do that just yet. We will check. So those we know are fine now. We'll go and deal with desktop environment. This one will also get rid of that. We'll build that so it's ready. And what have we got left to do here? We're not going to do the Lintian things today because that will flag all the copyright stuff that I know I need to deal with. It's the change log, isn't it? Okay. So, you should parallelize each package build to use this. Yeah, I mean, the source package builds don't take all that long, to be fair. But the actual compiles, yeah. I'm pretty hot at making sure that when I compile stuff, everything is like spread across all the cores. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. Right, there's nothing else in there. Let's just save that. Run over here. Give that a look through. So there should only be a couple, so I need to make a note of these. It's Pluma. Let's go and deal with these as we encounter them. Pluma. Oh, I can't yet, can I? Oh, this is fine. This is fine. I'm just going to leave those double changes in for now. I can pick the bones out of that later. Oh, EOM needs to be cleaned up. Go and get rid of that line there. Okay. How did I add and remove what looks to be the same line? There must be a space on there somewhere. Ah, and Mate's system monitor. Let's just go and get rid of that. Okay. Go to the top and then roll down it this time. So that's fine. multi settings daemon. Any others? Multi screensaver. Oh, wow. Clean these up so they're not a complete mess. Okay, let's run that and grep or maint. Okay, there's one left somewhere. Typical. Ooh, boxes falling over behind me. Oh, Mozo, okay. Let's get rid of that one as well. Right, okay. There are no of those sticking around. Yeah, Vex boy, how you doing? Long time. What is this? What filth wizardry are you up to tonight? We are updating packages, and we're doing it in a bit of a funky way by using a script. Because of some of the problems we've run into, I don't actually know if this has saved me any time. When did I start this stream? About 2 hours ago. Yeah, it probably did save some time. I think if I'd have plodded through this by hand and made all of those edits by hand and git commits by hand, that would have been a long old slog. But I'm just getting to the point now where I'm going to be rebuilding source packages again, so that we can upload this to the archive. Right. That we don't need to do anymore, and probably need to remove some cruft from in here that I don't actually do anymore. There we go. Redo that for everything. Right then. Yes, it does. I mean, I can do a little bit of sort of consistency checking, John, by running that script and looking at the output. So yes, it does give me that, but that's only because I'm using the script to make some of these changes in the first place, that I need to be doubly sure everything's just so. But I'm pretty happy that that's all looking tippity top. So what shall I do here? I will do a couple of things. We will build these source packages, upload them, then we'll manually upload the multi desktop environment package. And then we'll do a little bit of jiggery pokery to insert Hirsute into all of those changelog versions and push those up as PPA builds. So we've got all that stuff built for Hirsute, and that's so I can upgrade my machine here and my machine at the office with the latest stuff and actually, drive it, on a real working system. Jiggery pokery, it's a technical term. So those are all built, so let's see if we can push those things up. This is the heart in mouth moment, because it's kind of like I'm actually doing it. So not to a PPA, but to Ubuntu. And I'll turn that on. I do these one at a time to be certain it's working. Oop. So there's a typo in that. Did you see that? I saw that. I saw a typo. Right then, here we go. So there's Mate Common. It's uploaded. Press any key to continue. There's Mate Desktop. It's done, and so on. So the reason I do this is for this reason here. That is never going to work. Once it stalls like that, it will never recover. So this is where it gets tedious, because then you have to go in and change the... So stop, come back here, go to the top of the script. Those two got done, so this dput stuff is miserable. Right then, off we go again. It will start with user guide. There it goes. So this is why I do this. And again, FTP is not a suitable protocol. If ever there was evidence of this. Right then. So that's not going to work. So we do that again. Go back here. We having fun yet? Okay, that's gone up. That's gone up. Indeed. Well, this has been tested in PPAs, but the thing is that I'm actually uploading packages to the archive now, so you really want to be sure you've not done something monumentally stupid. And I don't think I have. I'm pretty certain this is all going to build successfully. There are occasions where you build things in PPAs, and then when you actually build them on the build infrastructure, it encounters some, weird edge case, and that's happened a few times, which is frustrating, because if it builds in a PPA and it doesn't in the actual archive builders, then how do you test whether you've fixed it or not? It's a bit more of a pain. And I've made a few changes to the meta packages this time round to exclude some of the upstream artwork and themes for two reasons. One, it's quite large, so it's a space reducing exercise on the image, but also I don't like them much, so and also people raise bugs against them, which are very slow to get fixed, and I have no interest in fixing those sorts of things, so removing them is easier. If people choose to install it and then run into problems, then okay, fine, but I didn't give it to you. I didn't give you broken stuff. So they are the same builders, it's the same build infrastructure, but there is an additional set of things that get run through, sort of some validity checks and what have you when you're uploading to the actual archive, which you don't get when you build in a PPA. So it's when that stuff gets hung up, and it can be things like SO bumps and things like that that hold things up. So this is going a bit better. He said, oh no, there's no wood round here. I might have jinxed it. I wonder if I can grab a beer in the time it takes to upload the next one. No, these are all small things now. You'll be pleased to hear the calculator in the new version of Mate Desktop is much improved. It adds and subtracts much faster than it used to. Okay, we're nearly at the end. Nearly at the end. Has anyone here played with Wayfire? Just out of interest. It does use a new library. It uses 2 new libraries for calculating. But does the calculator have any vulnerabilities you could pop a shell with? I don't think so, unfortunately. No. Oh, this could be the last one. Here it is. The last one. Wow, that's huge. Why is that package so big? And it's done. So that is everything uploaded. I'm now going to come over here and unfiddle this like so, and then I'm not going to upload the Mate Desktop meta package yet. So down here we'll do a little bit of this. We'll do I got one of these hiding down here. We haven't got any builds running. Let's have wait. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, we don't want any of that happening. Turn all that off. So we'll do. I wonder if I've got any examples of these changes. There we go. That's the sort of thing I'm looking for. We'll set that with this. That'll do. And then we will now do another one, which is check we have the intended version. Let's do that, and then we'll do another one of these, which is gonna replace Impish with Pursuit. In fact, what we'll do is we'll actually call this 2.0 because there's another PPA where some of them were built and this will be a bigger number. So if we change those things, bosh. So what we've done now is we've fudged the version to look like a PPA suffix and said it's for Hirsute, which is good. And now we will turn those lines off and we'll come back to building a source package like so. Whoops, let's not delete it, let's save the file. So now we'll rebuild all of the source packages again, and this time they're building for Hirsute, or at least targeting Hirsute. And once this is done, we'll then run the script again and push them all. Lol commits. I'll look it up later. Yeah, this is a janky script that I've been using just to do bulk changes over things. Right, whilst this is running, I can get a bit. There we go. I will take a look. Thank you for the tip. Although I've made a few faux pas in my commits to the Debian history, and Mike is not going to be happy about that. Because if Andy Hazen is still here, because we use the automated changelog history built from the Git commits, so my mistakes he will have to manually account for, and he hates that. Right then, that's built. Okay, so that's done, and now Yes, by time. So let's do that. We should therefore only see the history changes, because these are the newer files. Yeah, there they all are. Everything has 2 entries. Hopefully Mate Common does as well. There we go, 2 entries. Good, good, good. And we'll now push that to the play park. So that's down here somewhere. Here it is. Maybe I'll add this to this step too, just so in case it goes wrong I can restart more gracefully. Right then, let's push that to the testing PPA, which shows uploading going on. I'm going to spam my phone now. Haha, oops. Oh no. Why are you laughing, Andy? What did I do? What did I do that I missed that I shouldn't have done? Right. Am I getting email spam? I'm a bit concerned I'm not. Oh, about the Git history for Debian. Yeah, oopsies. Yeah. I do update all the packaging though, so you know, having to edit the changelog in a few files, it's not a massive hardship. Mike, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. Don't hurt me. He does put these on in the background some days, apparently. So. I'm forgetting to press return. Right then, here we go. We're off and running. Go, go, go. Lots of uploading. Here's a question. There's only a few of you in here. Have you ever been in a live stream on Twitch where a mid-roll ad has run? Have you been in streams where that happens? And does the streamer tell you they're about to do it? Because it's a button now. So so I'm curious, like, I don't think you can do it on purpose. Sorry. I don't think it runs automatically. I think it requires that I push a button or the streamers push a button. So what I was interested, I mean, I would never use it because I find just the pre-roll ones really annoying. But if people do, if streamers do hit that button, do they say beforehand, I'm about to run an advert? Because if somebody did that to me, I'd be like, next stream. I'm out. They did for you, and as they got a massive raid and everyone was saying for them to do it, get more money. Oh, okay. So that was kind of like a group thing then. So people were in on it. If you have mid-rolls, then pre-rolls don't actually show up for some time. Okay. John says he's only come to see me. Well, that's very, very kind of you. Yeah. I find that the adverts are getting long. Those pre-roll adverts are getting longer and longer. Do you get paid for adverts on Twitch? The answer to that question, Dan, is yes. And I think in the whole time I've been streaming on Twitch, I've earned about 27p in ad revenue. So, I mean, nobody's earning decent money. Although I did see something new. I don't want to click around in Twitch too much, but I saw something after I streamed this morning that said if I stream so many more hours until the end of the month, then they would give me a higher revenue share on the ad revenue, which I've never seen in the dashboard before. But it's not like gonna, it's every little bit is sort of, nice, and I can use it for something, even if it's just buying, another set of tea bags or whatever. But so I've seen that, and what's interesting is I've said I'm back to more regular streaming on Twitch, but whatever this program is, this offer isn't the motivation for me doing that, but it popped up today. So for those of you that are here, thank you for staying here. Well, let's have a chat about something new I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to need some ideas about. Some of you may know I've got a lot of GPUs, like a lot of GPUs. In fact, I have every top tier generation of NVIDIA GPU going back to the 980 Ti, and I have AMD GPUs, only 3, the RX 580, the 57XT, and the 6900 XT, which is next to me here. So what I'm planning on doing, I'm building a test rig behind me, which has got a AMD Ryzen 5900X in it, and I've also got every AMD Ryzen APU from the first generation right up to the 5700G, and I'm gonna benchmark all of it. You've got a good memory remembering GPUs for Pedro. So I'm going to benchmark all of the NVIDIA GPUs and all of the AMD GPUs and all of the AMD APUs just on Linux. And I've got an idea of some of the things I'm going to use to benchmark it. Some of the synthetic benchmarks like superposition and basemark and some of the games. I'm not going to be able to do one of these comprehensive 40 game things with all of the deltas, but I think I've probably got the scope to do 6 to 8 benchmarks for each card, and it will be each card on the same system. So the question is, what do I use for some of the benchmarks? I intend to use some of the games I'm interested in, some of the racing games and things like the current Tomb Raider and stuff like that, because that's a useful one to benchmark. So I'm interested in what you suggest. So throw one APU. What's this? Can you also benchmark the AMD GPU proprietary drivers? Yes, Dan, that is a great idea. I will absolutely do that. That's a really good idea. What are the hate raid issues? The what? So, yes, I can do that. That's a good idea. I like that idea a lot. I have an idea of what to do with those APUs. They're not spare. I mean, they're over here. But I've got a good selection, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I think we're on the cusp of the used GPU market being flooded with a load of Ethereum mining cards that is why we've been starved of graphics cards recently. I feel like that's about to happen, and therefore that will have a knock-on effect that older generation cards should return to sensible prices. And I thought it'd be useful to have like the data for, well, what sort of performance can I expect on Linux for these cards for whatever amount of money you're going to buy them for. You're interested in OpenCL. Yeah, so I am as well, and I think I'd like to do some what should we call them, machine learning, AI ML type benchmarks, but that's for further out. I want to do gaming to start with, but I'm interested to see, like, how do these different cards actually compare to one another on Linux, and also how does how do the APUs hold up, and how much have they improved? Because I did some testing with, I've got a 4750G, which are as rare as hen's teeth, but I did manage to get one, and they are a lot of fun because you get yourself a really decent memory kit, and you can actually get 70% more performance out of the APU by overclocking the memory and not actually overclocking the GPU or CPU at all. So that was quite of a fun experiment. So I'd like to sort of do some of that. And another test I've been meaning to do since 2016, and I now have the means to do, or rather it's more convenient for me to do. I've got my old workstation down here, which is an i9-9900K, and I want to do one specific test on that, which is put all those GPUs in the PCI 16 slot and run the benchmarks, because it will be different from the AMD system. I want to be like the main test system, and then that motherboard has Thunderbolt on it, and I want to take exactly the same system and test each of the graphics cards on the main board and connected by a Thunderbolt, and then actually calculate, this is the cost of running over Thunderbolt versus on the main board, and actually apples for apples comparison. So the system will be identical, and the only thing that changes is where on the bus the GPU is installed. So have a little think about that one, because that's something I want to start working on. It's obviously going to take a lot of time to collect that data, but I want to get some ideas on the benchmarking process, how to do it. There we go, we're uploaded. And also what to use for the benchmarks. And with Intel sort of going to enter the gaming GPU market at the beginning of next year, I thought it would be good to have this data and then see, well, where do the Intel GPUs, the new Arc GPUs that they're going to be producing, where they fit in on the great scheme of things. And some of those Arc GPUs, to your point, Dan, are specifically like high performance computing cards. So actually doing what you suggested, which is doing some compute benchmarks, would be very sensible. I think Blender would be a good candidate for that sort of thing as well. So Blender, something video encoding, using VAPI and NVENC and what have you. And I don't know, something TensorFlow, but I don't know what that would be. But that's a little thing I want to start working on, and I want to actually publish all of that stuff on YouTube and somehow make the data available so that, people have the raw data as well. Yes, I think you're right. The Proton performance of older cards. Yeah, and Linus Tech Tips just did a video recently looking at various aged mining cards, and the TLDR was they perform just the same as the day they were new. So there's some interest. I think it's going to get interesting. Right then, so that's uploaded. Am I done? No, I'm not quite done, am I? I need to... Well, I think... what we'll do is go over here, look in the play park, refresh. This shouldn't change. We'll change Impish to the suit. And we can now see that's building away. There they all are. Oh gosh, that's not good. Why has that failed? Martin desperately hopes this is something specific to why did that die? Oh no. I regret my life choices. What have I done? What have I done that's broken this? Ah, no, this is fine. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, this is fine. That's absolutely fine. So that can be just a rebuild when in fact, that Mate desktop library is probably rebuilt already, so that's fine. Is it rebuilt yet? Mate desktop. It isn't published. Okay, so that'll be fine. That will rebuild automatically. I don't regret my life choices. So let's look at Impish. So we've now got the desktop environment, so let's go and manually upload that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yes, there we go. This is quite a big change. Hang on. So I've pushed that already, haven't I? Let's just do a git log. Yes, I did do that. Okay. Code. It's Debian control. There we go. Mike likes a full stop at the end. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's get that one built and put that up. Okay, and do I want to change this in his suite? Yes, I do. Oh. No, I don't want to upload this meta package to the PPA because this will interfere with people's installed stuff, which I don't want to mess them up. So I'll leave that alone. Right then. Let's have a look then. Poopy on the trampoline, yeah. Extreme ironing, I believe. Yes, Andy Hazen, that is Poopy ironing on a trampoline in his back garden. So Pro Gamer says an approach for benching is use DXVK native with some new games. Yes, I do want to test Proton or 2 Proton games in some fashion. And I don't want to benchmark anything that doesn't have a built-in benchmark. So I'm not interested in playing 15 minutes of Cyberpunk in the same way 3 times over to get Cyberpunk benchmarks. If it can't be automated, I'm not doing it. So it needs to be something that has a benchmark built in. Yeah, and I was thinking about using Mango HUD for some of this because I've been building that for various versions of Ubuntu, and that's got a number of sort of frame timing benchmarky things, and I think that is where it works, because it doesn't work with everything. It works with a lot of stuff, but it doesn't work with everything. Curiously, it doesn't work with a lot of the synthetic benchmarks. But where it does work with games, it's a really useful tool for capturing a lot of raw data. Right. Yeah, yes, I'm doing the right thing now. I don't want to change that. That's what we agreed. I'm not uploading that. Right, so leave that alone. Get rid of that. So we are good, I think. I mean, all of this says a newer version is available. That is a lie. It's not actually available yet. Where is it sitting? I really need to do something about getting this guy off. I've got a story to tell about this gentleman. The lengths I've gone to, you'd be surprised. Right then. The full change log into proposed universe. That should be building. In fact, that one's built. So let's just go and look at Ubuntu update excuses and see how busted this is. So, oh well, okay, that's encouraging. Well, good enough. Nothing in there just yet. Okay, so I think. Oh no, there is a thing left to do. There is a thing left to do. If we go back here and to this big old script, we'll turn that off because that's uploaded. So let's do Git Status. We don't care about whatever changes might be in the change log. Let's just do Git Status and see what we have. And if everything's fine, we'll do a whole bunch of Git pushes, and that all goes up to Debian, because that would be nice, wouldn't it? Right then, let's run the bulk script. So we know we don't want any of the watch files. What is this Kaja Actions? I'm curious. Actions. Oh, I see. So I had to change the URL, and my code editor has stripped trailing spaces off a few of the things. Actually, that's a change I need to commit, so that's fine. Debian copyright. Update. It's not the copyright attributions, is it? It's update source. Oh. Okay, that was worth checking. So change logs and watch files, that's all fine. So I think we just push this. What's the worst that could happen? You know that was the one that's right then, let's do that and let's do this and save. Now the other evening this was awful because Debian Salsa was on its knees. So let's see if this is going to go. Everything's up to date. Okay. How can everything be up to date? There we go. I was going to say there's definitely commits here that are not up to date. Right then. Good. Okay, that appears to be working. So once this is done, if I just fire up IRC Cloud, I should be able to see that in the channel. Oh, signed me out. That's a bit rude. Let me just log in. Yeah, okay. Maybe if I just bring this down to here, you can see the flip side of what's going on. Oop. There we go. So as these go through, you can see the IRC bot spamming Mike to tell him that stuff is happening. So that's good. How many of my mistakes are there in there? It's not too awful, is it? Oh, yeah, okay. So it's doing its thing. Oh, now I've started up IRC Cloud and the notifications are going crackers. Thankfully, you can't see that because I put things in a virtual screen so you don't get to see all that nonsense. What's the worst that could happen? I know. Oh, yes. Well, hopefully not Dr. Pepper, but maybe Adnam's Southwold Bitter. Right then, that was the last one. That is a bunch of changes committed. Awesome sauce. Right. That, I think, is everything I wanted to do this evening. We've uploaded to Impish based on a PPA that's already been tested on Impish, and we've uploaded to the PPA for Suite. And I can't test that yet because it hasn't finished building. And I've committed the changes to Debian Salsa, but not the watch file changes. So I think that is it. Let me just go back to my little doc that I was messing around with here. Well, we need to actually disable things that we don't want to run inadvertently. Okay, all of this is done. That's all off again. Oop, yeah, that's fine. Save. And let's go here to this doc and look at the top here. So that's a new package I need to create, and I won't do it yet. Meanwhile, all of those things are taken care of except for the RDA stuff, which Mike needs to work on, so I will message him in the morning. So I will just put here Okay. And then these are the next things I need to work on. So I'm going to, as a workaround, I'm going to call it a workaround. There's a workaround I put in, what's the last release? 2104. For the way that Plank interacts with Marco Window Manager, and that's no longer required. I see Ubuntu in the title. I'm a Windows user and I've always wondered how using and customizing Linux would be. Also, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. So, hello, my name's Wimpy. I do Ubuntu development stuff. I work on one of the flavors called Ubuntu Mate, and I've just been updating the software packages for the new version of the desktop environment, which will go into the new version of Ubuntu, which is due to be released in October. So some of the people here are involved in the team, or I know through going to conferences and stuff. So everyone here's a fully subscribed Linux nerd. So yeah, these are the bits that I've got left to do. I need to remove that because it's no longer necessary. And this one here, Ubiquity panel, there's one graphics asset that I need to add so that it all fits in with the new Uru theming that we added last cycle. This is going to be a big job. I need to go and cherry pick all of the changes that the Uru team have done in the theming into the Mate branch, and that I know from experience, and I've left it far too long. Is going to take hours to do. And then the other thing is I want to move to the new spinner theme for the boot animations, which preserves like the OEM logo from the UEFI and what have you, just like Ubuntu does it. So those will be things I'll be working on in the coming days. Just make sure that all these packaging stuff is good and golden, and we've also got the 2004.3 release on Thursday, so the new hardware enablement stack is baked into the 0.3 images, and those are going through QA and testing at the moment. I did some smoke testing earlier. And for those of you, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me just see. So I want to say ABOD AAA 21. I'm not sure how to abbreviate that. AAA 21 is probably easiest. So yes, if you're new to the Linux space, we're obviously, you know, we have a common language of stuff that, you know, particular to Ubuntu in this case, but you know what. So I am running Linux here. This is well, this is Visual Studio Code, and this is a terminal that I was doing some stuff in, which I don't need anymore, so we'll close that. This is, which browser is this? Is Google Chrome. You know, it's all a lot of the same stuff you get on Windows these days. It's not so different. And I also do game streaming on Linux as well here, so you know, I know everyone's excited for let's get this right, the Steam Decks, but a lot of us here have been gaming on Linux quite happily for many years. So yeah, well, we try to be inclusive here, but most people that are joining this stream are already sort of experienced Linux users, and in some cases Linux developers. So if we're talking about stuff and we're using phrases that you're not familiar with, do ask. We're all a very friendly bunch here. We'll happily explain any of the terms and terminology that you know, that are new to you. But a lot of people here use Windows as well. Some of them, you know, because of work and what have you. But I'm the only stuff I do here is Linux related. And for those of you that are here and are in Europe, I don't know if you saw earlier, but I did my first morning stream, my first cup of tea, first thing in the morning, have a cup of tea, do some stuff, have a bit of a chat. So if you're in a European time zone, sometime between 8 and 10 most mornings, I'll be doing a little let's have a get together and have a chat type streams. So, you know, stop by for those. I'm going to be using those to learn new stuff that I haven't done or I haven't done very much of. So I'm going to be digging in some new topics there and literally fumbling through it like for the first time. So the more the merrier to help orientate me with new and interesting technologies. That would be good. But also some of that chat about like benchmarking stuff. I'll be digging into some of that and sort of fleshing out how I'm going to tackle some of that stuff. So, you know, more people's opinion and input into those sorts of conversations will be good, because hopefully that will mean that the output of those experiments will be more valuable. So, what does it say here? We're all colossal nerds. It's absolutely true. Yes, and we'll happily answer questions. Yeah, that sounds absolutely fine by me. Yeah, we're a friendly bunch. Hey, KP, how you doing? Welcome back. So for me, I'm in the UK, so it's 5 to 1 in the morning here, and I am just about finishing up, really. In fact, I will switch to the big view. Let's go here. There we go. Let's switch to the big view, and I'll just shuffle round. So I'm back in shot again. So yeah, I'm just about finishing up. But for those people that are in Europe or Asia or Australia and New Zealand, then the morning streams that I do should be at a time that you can join. So I'd love to see you for those. Yeah, big pod, yeah. So
Thank you for the follow, Abod AAA21.
Well, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that, and I look forward to seeing you again. And I'll make them. I do like it when people introduce themselves, because I do try to remember. I don't have like a lot of followers here. At the moment, I'm able to sort of keep a track of who people are, or at least by name, and I try to remember. So I'll do the best I can to remember that you're interested to pick this stuff up, and I'll try and answer your questions as best as I can, and so will everyone else as well. So I think we're done. Thank you ever so much. Thank you, Danny, and thank you, Andy Hazen, if you're still here, for spotting my mistakes earlier and helping me overcome some of that nonsense with the patch refactoring that we had to do. It was good to get that out of the way. Well, tomorrow, if you want to fire up a VM, in fact, tomorrow morning, I think I'll do this. I think tomorrow morning, I'll run up 2 VMs, one of Impish and one of Hirsute, and I will test that PPA that we've just sent a load of builds to, and check that all works. That'll be a good thing to do. That's a nice over a cup of tea and a biscuit type task to do in the morning. That feels like a gentle introduction to the day. So thank you, everyone. Is the ISO ready? No. So I've literally just uploaded the updated packages to the archive. So they're going through the archive builders at the moment. The images, the ISOs, and I shouldn't call them ISOs anymore. The images are built at about 3 o'clock in the morning my time. So looking at where things are, I don't think any of this new stuff will be in tomorrow's ISO. Probably be in the ISO the day after. But I have jammed everything up in a testing PPA. So I will test tonight's image is tonight's images, and add that PPA to them to do an upgrade, because you can also test the upgrade process. I have done this once before, but I will do it again. So let's have a look here. What's this question? Virtual machines. Yeah, I'll be testing, because these tests are just software. So I work on a team that maintains a desktop environment, which is a bit of an alien concept on Windows, because there is only one desktop environment. But let me give you an example. Hang on, can I give you an example? Not easily, not from here. The desktop environment is the thing where you click start and you navigate and launch applications, and it has the notepad and the calculator and the file manager. That's a desktop environment. And I work on a team that makes one of those for Linux. There are dozens of them for Linux, so you have lots of choice as to how you want your computer to work. And I will be testing that in some virtual machines, because none of that stuff is hardware relevant. You know, I don't care about the hardware. I just want to make sure the software is working correctly. Hopefully that answers the question about that. I don't get ISO, to be honest. Okay, so ISO is an image. It's the standard for writing data to CDs and DVDs. That doesn't matter, but the same standard is used. You put the ISO image on a USB stick, and then you can boot off it and install it. Or in the case of Ubuntu operating systems and most Linux operating systems, you can boot on it and run that system off the USB stick without having to install it. So if you head to, in fact, actually, let's do this with pictures as you're here. Let me just bring up something to show you where to get started. I want that one. Yes, there we go. So let's bring up here. This is the project that I work on. So this is the operating system that I have been working on, and if you want to get started, download here, and it will give you some options, whether you've got a PC or a Raspberry Pi or some specific devices. So I maintain, I work with GPD to make versions of Ubuntu Mate for their laptops, netbooks. So you can choose what hardware you want to put it on, probably a PC. You can choose what version. I recommend 2104 if you're new, because it's the latest and it's the more fun and interesting one. And you can download. So if I click this button, it gives me the option to download the ISO image, but then here it will give you instructions how to verify that the image is downloaded correctly, and then here how to image a flash drive. So like how to get started with, once you've downloaded it, what do you do next? And then people in the community even write books about like what to do, so you can go and take a look at those as well. I mean, if you've got like Virtualbox or VMware Workstation or anything like that, you could install it into a VM just to get started. You don't have to like blow away your working machine. You can just use a VM to get acquainted, and I recommend you start there. Oh, let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Got to update those screenshots. Yeah, well, we haven't done that on purpose, actually. So we did discuss that, KP. And that's because those screenshots are of the current LTS, which is what most people will download and use. So we'll refresh all the screenshots when 2204 is released. But yes, you can install it on a laptop. And you can, and there is an option in the installer that will say, I've detected Windows, do you want me to resize the partition and make space and install Linux as well? That can be a little bit fraught on modern laptops where it comes with BitKeeper encrypted Windows partitions by default, and there's a lot of fun and games involved in that. So you've no clue how to run a VM. Okay, well, there's a project called Virtualbox. Let me go back to where I was. This is probably, oh, that's the wrong screen. And that's the wrong screen. Should we try this screen? There we go. So you can download this for Windows. It works on all operating systems. Here we go. So you can download VirtualBox and install it, and then it is the thing that can create and run virtual machines. Yes, you could change the M2 drive, or you could also try this. You need to keep track of what you're doing, but if you have 2 USB sticks, you could put the image on one USB stick and boot off that, and then put the other USB stick in another port and install onto the other USB stick. And once you've done the install on the other USB stick, if you put that in and then from your boot menu, choose boot off that USB stick, you can have a writable, runnable copy on a USB stick and it will work perfectly fine. So that's another way you could run it on your laptop without actually having to interfere with your existing Windows installation. Isn't this interesting? For those of us here that are au fait with Linux and all the rest of it, and this is all old hat, these are interesting questions, I think, and this is why there are not more people running Linux, because this is a massive bloody hurdle. It's still a pain. It's you can understand why at Lugs we used to have install parties. So I can have it both on the VM and run it off the USB drive. Yes, exactly that. You can install it onto a USB drive and then through the BIOS boot off that USB drive that you installed to and run the whole operating system off that USB drive. So you can choose, I'm going to do a bit of Linuxing now, plug that drive in, boot off it, have a bit of a play. When you're done, shut down, pull the drive out, turn your computer on back to Windows without having messed with anything. You just need to be really sure when you do the install that you install it on the USB stick and not over your M.2 drive in your laptop. If you want to be certain you don't accidentally install over the top of your NVMe drive or your M.2 drive, open up the laptop, take that drive out when you do the install, and then you can be guaranteed you haven't screwed Windows when you do the install to USB. Or if you have a second M.2 like you said, but that's a bit more fiddly to change around. It's much easier to plug USB discs in and out. So it's interesting. AAA, can you tell us this? How did you find this stream? Given that you're just curious about Linux and probably weren't thinking, oh, hey, Wimpy's doing a thing, I'm going to go and watch that. How on earth did you find what we're doing here? Well, yeah, that sounds great. If you've got a system that you're prepared to build to run Linux on, that would be very interesting. And stop by here if you've got questions and things you want to learn. Also, I have a Discord server which has got loads of people in it. So if you want to join our Discord, you'll find links in the panels on the Twitch page for this channel. join the Discord. There's several channels where you can just ask questions and people will help you. Huh, okay. Are you looking for PC building streams? I do that too. There's one just behind me over there that I've been working on. In fact, if I hit that button, the camera's blurred it out. But that's a test bench. In fact, I'll grab it. Let's bring it over. Oh gosh, that's heavier than I remember. So this is a new test rig I'm working on. So this was the one I was referring to earlier. For those of you that were here earlier and I was talking about benchmarking, this is the benchmarking rig that I'm working on. So that's an open bench table, open source bench for building on without having to put in a case. So that's X570 mini ITX with the Ryzen 5900X in it, and this is the Radeon 6900 XT from Tough Gaming in there at the moment. So I do that as well. That isn't Threadripper. The machine I'm using here is Threadripper. This is a Threadripper 3970. My workstation in the other office is a Ryzen 5950X. So this is a Threadripper with a 3090 in it and 256 gigs of RAM. Hey Cheese, how you doing? Lovely to see you here. Were you at the event in Colorado, Cheese? Out of interest. Yes, I do. I do like gadgets and toys. The machine I've just built in the office I really like. Oh, Cheese, thanks very much. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. So yeah, the office machine I'm really happy with. That's yes, we've got an international cast of cabaret artists in chat here from all across Europe and the US, and depending on the time of day I stream from Australia and Asia as well. Well, yes, having a job does help with, buying toys. Cheese, so you were there. Oh, you've done some photos. Cool. How was it? Did you have fun? I heard it was mostly sort of like the antidote to the lockdown hangover. It was mostly just a socializing event. It was all the socializing bit of a conference track without any of the conference. Is that about right? Well, not quite a billionaire, not anymore. And South America as well, yes, pro gamer. Oh well, there we go. So AAA's representing the Middle East. So there we go. We've got which bevy am I sipping? This is Adnam's Southwold Bitter I'm drinking tonight. It looks like this. I can never point the thing the right way. There we go. In fact, if I put it in front of my face, it will focus on the can. But as soon as it sees my eyes, don't see my eyes. That's what I'm drinking. In fact, I'll pour the rest in the glass. Oh, I'm glad those uploads are done. That's good. That's a weight off my mind, that is. A giant hallway track. That sounds fabulous, Cheese. I'm quite envious. I'm looking forward. In fact, I know for sure I'm going to KubeCon in LA in October. And that will be the first time I've travelled since February 2020. So yeah, so I know I'm definitely going to that, and I don't know if there's going to be any other events or conferences between now and then. that I will go to, but I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of, you know, meeting our people. Huh. Good. Who was that from Puerto Rico? Is it somebody we know? Yeah, are you working at System 76 now, or you just live nearby? I wonder how much disk space I've filled up. I've been recording this whole stream at extremely high bitrate. I might check actually. That's just before, you know, the stream implodes on itself. Oh, ooh, crikey. Oh no. Okay, it's okay. It's comfortable, but it has used a bit of space. How big's this recording? Scroll down. So far, 20 gig so far. Right then. Danny, all the bits. It was really amazing to see so many walls broken down. Well, yes, absolutely. Isn't that the truth? That idea that a distro really matters, or we're all working on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Good for you. So, do you work at the System 76 offices, or do you work remote and went there for this event? So, because you do, you know, design and graphics and all the rest of it. Is that what you're doing there? This is fascinating. I hope you don't mind, Cheese. I'm just going to have a chat now and pick your brains about what you're up to. A bit of space. Yeah, I've got... Hang on a minute. You don't want to know how much space, how much drive space I've got in this machine. I've got FX Boy. I've got 18 terabytes of NVMe striped storage in this machine. And then I've got another one of those, which is the hot snapshot backup. And then I've got Spinning Rust, and I think it's 56 terabytes as archival backup storage. What panel layout do I use for Ubuntu Mate? Well, I sort of customize one, but I start with Mutiny and then I tweak it a bit and save it. So Mutiny is what I start with now, which is quite surprising because I was always a bottom dock, you know, person back in the day. No kill like overkill. No, this whole machine is the most overkill computer I could put together. Everything about it is, you know, sometimes you build a computer and you like, oh, I'll get this one because it's a bit cheaper or whatever. You know, you make little compromises. You end up something great, but you make little compromises. When I built this one, I was just like, no, I'm going to get the absolute maximum I can. And when Threadripper 5000 released, I will upgrade this to Threadripper 5000, and I may go up to one of their 96 core CPUs on that. Yeah, well, as do I normally. I usually balance things, you know, build a balance system, build it to a budget. But for this one, I didn't. You know, lockdown was biting hard and Bitcoin was flying high. So I just decided to go on a spending spree. And I just bought the best I could get. Absolutely everything. The 256 gigs of RAM was spendy, but that's fun. Having loads of RAM like that's good fun. So, Cheese says, are you working in marketing? Okay, doing a mix of photography, videography, motion graphics, and really whatever. Wow. It's sweeping. I'm not too proud. Well, I agree with that mentality. I've worked in different places, and sometimes, you know, people are like, you know, should you really be crawling around on your hands and knees, you know, pulling Ethernet cable? And it's like, look, if the job needs doing and I've been asked to do it, I'll just get on and do it. They're paying me to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to argue. Right then. Yeah, I bet, Cheese, I'm really pleased for you. I'm really pleased that that's where you've ended up. How long have you been there? But I'm delighted to hear that's where you are. I think, yeah, that's definitely a good fit for you. If AAA is still here, I should explain that System 76 are a Linux PC manufacturer stroke vendor. So, you know, that's kind of one of the dream job organizations for Linux nerds, I think, to work for System 76. Oh wow, you've been there a while. I'd completely missed that news. I have not been listening to podcasts. I haven't got back into podcast listening since the whole lockdown thing started. There's been no travel opportunity to catch up on podcasts, so I imagine you've spoken about that on JB. Hey JB, look. But I've not been keeping up to speed on that stuff. So FX Boy says, last machine I bought was inexpensive, but as Wimpy knows, I have a fascination with small form factor machines. I have all the small form factor machines now as well. And my favourite one is like really unknown and obscure, and I absolutely flipping love it. It's the best one. And GPD so I've done all of the GPDs so far, but not their latest one because they haven't got enough supply, which is a bit of a bummer. I wanted the whole set, but you know. Have any of the Melly machines? No, I don't. I don't even know that brand. Is that easy to find? Let's see. On Amazon. Oh, are these what are they called? Compute stick type things? Is that what that is? Oh, geez, I'm really pleased for you. That's great. Yeah, I bet it is. Well, it kind of is. I mean, I saw the photographs of the keyboard assembly recently. Were you involved in that? Was everyone hands to the production line for those keyboards? Brilliant. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, Big Pod, you're so funny. So don't buy from Amazon. Oh, wow. Yes, you're not wrong. 240 quid. Smokes. So where do you get them from? Are you going to say AliExpress or something like that? So I'll tell you what, let's bring this in. This is what we're talking about. Let's not look at a screen. Oh, I've done it again. Let's do this. Boink. And drag this down. So we're looking at these. I've never bought one of these compute sticks. I've always wanted to get one for, well, ever since they were a thing with those like official Intel ones, which I think weren't those original ones like called Bay Trail or something. I don't know why. Right. Let's try that again. Let's do it up here, as I've already got a browser here. And the reason I didn't get one in the early days is because the the support on Linux was so ropey, and I knew if I got one I'd go down that rabbit hole of trying to make the damn thing work. So I kind of like prevented myself from experiencing that pain. There we go, that's a bit better. So, oh, here we go. Is this where we should be looking? Oh, Melee technology enriches life. Fanless PC stick. There we go. Here they are. So, they've got some really catchy names. I'm gonna... Which one looks like it's got the most stuff on it? They all look like they're the same. This... Let's assume that's the newest, without knowing anything about them. Click on that. Let's see what we get. So FXboy, do these run... do these run on Linux okay, or does it require any, out of tree kernel patches and stuff? Oh, fanless. Interesting. Huh. Interesting indeed. I might have to get one of these. Oh, Apollo Lake. Okay, this looks fairly current, judging by the specs. Interesting. Interesting. I do quite like this idea. Several distros with 0 issues. That's good to know. Well, geez, I've not worked on many. I mean, just the GPDs, and the one I really like, what is it even called? I can't remember the name of the company. But this was my favourite. Well, this is, oh, that's it, yes. It's the Topjoy Falcon. Switch views again. This is my favourite one that I've worked on, the Topjoy Falcon. And this is the one that I'm putting in. I'm working on a little miniature camera film sort of setup, and I was thinking I needed a way to sort of get footage off the cameras at the end of each day, and I'm going to use this. So this is the thing, and you can't get them anymore, but this is about as good as they've been made so far. But this one is a full, 2-in-1, and I really like it. The keyboard's decent. It's got one of those optical mouse nubs, and the screen is 1920 by 1200, and it's a 9-inch touchscreen as well. So this one's got I think it's got 16 gigs of RAM, or is it 8 gigs? I think it's 16. I honestly can't remember, but I know that this one is my favourite. So yeah, I really like that one. And it's also identical hardware to one of the GPDs. Or, well, identical. I think the CPU is different, but in terms of the touch panel and all of the other drivers, it's identical. So I can use this one and keep it for myself. In fact, I did buy this one. It wasn't given to me. It was a crowdfunder. It means that I don't need it for hardware testing, because basically the internals are the same as another device. Yeah, they are. It's not the smallest one I've got, actually. If you like small ones, here we go. Here's a smaller one. So the reason I have these AAA is in exchange for getting an engineering sample of a device from GPD, I make a custom, well, not a custom, I make a version of Ubuntu Mate that's adapted to run on this device. So this is the smallest one that I have over here. So this is the smallest one. Oop, in front of my face. There we go. And that's how big it is. So pretty tiny. Is the camera gonna focus? There it is. So you've got You've got a trackpad here. Where are the mice? Is this? I can't remember. Oh yeah, this is clicky, and these are the also mouse switches over here, and then a tiny little keyboard. But this one's interesting because it's got, curiously, it's got. Is this going to focus? Come on, camera, focus. Focus on the thing. Don't focus on me. Focus on it. No, it's not going to do it. Over here, it's got. There we go. Cover my face. There we go. Come on. You know you want to do it. Come on. Anyway, over here it's a serial port and Ethernet ports. And this one's really handy for network engineers because it's a tiny little device you can take into the data center and you can use to configure network switches and stuff like that and upload configuration. No, this one's HDMI, not VGA. HDMI and USB-C for display, and then, you know, touch panel, built-in touch panel. So these are, you know, tiny little computers, actual pocketable computers. And they're a lot of fun. And some of them are even more fun because the GPD in the name here stands for Gamepad Digital. So you get something like, is it this one? I think it's this one. This one. It's literally a bookcase of netbooks I have up here now. So this one's a really cool one. This is the one my daughter wants. She wants me to give this one to. Oh no, this is the laptop one. This is the wrong one. Hang on a moment. I think this is the wrong one. I'm just going to double check. No, this is it. So this one's a bit bigger. And this one has game controllers built into it. So you've got two analog sticks and a D-pad and buttons and a trackpad and a full keyboard and a touch screen. And this, I mean, you're not going to be playing, you know, AAA games, you know, at high quality, but it's only a 720p display, but as you will have seen from the Steam Deck, that is 1280 by 800 as well, which is the right resolution for, you know, integrated graphics. And they're terrific. I absolutely love that. I don't use it much. The problem with these things is that it seems like I've got all this cool stuff, but I don't get to use them because each time I need to spin a new release of Ubuntu Mate, I need to blow them all away and test the new version. But this one, I really don't want to have to keep testing on because I do want to use it as a portable games machine. So yeah. Oh yeah. Linux is great for gaming. Absolutely fabulous, as evidenced by Valve's recent decisions. I think it's about to get a whole lot better. There's a few caveats, in particular games that use things like easy anti-cheat don't work on Linux at the moment, but I think that looks like there's some encouraging noises being made about that. You love the nerding out moment we're having, Cheese. Yeah, me too. I'm at my happiest when I'm chatting to fellow nerds about nerdy stuff. Yeah, I've got this room. You're looking at the cone of clean. It's not too bad at the moment, but there is a lot of other stuff piled up. I've got so many projects I need to be working on that I want to get back to. So yeah. What hardware are you giving away? I'm not planning on giving any hardware away. I mean, I do give hardware away. Not on a stream on the internet. Friends and family get hardware all the time. Hey Tyler, how you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you again. Oh my goodness, you were here this morning as well. So yeah. Thanks for stopping by again. Yeah, thanks for the link, sending the link to Discord. Did somebody request that? Cheers, Big Pod. What do I think of the 6900 XT? So, I'm sure it's amazing, but I haven't powered this up yet, so I can't actually tell you what I think of it because I haven't done anything meaningful with it yet. But I'm looking forward to trying it. I nearly put it in my office machine, but I do so much that I lean on the NVIDIA technologies. I couldn't. So this 3090 is great and everything, but boy, this is a lot. Obviously, I got this. I was able to buy this the day they were launched, so September the 24th last year. Little did we know the drought of GPUs we were about to encounter. So I got it at a MSRP, and it's great, but it is the first gen, and man, the memory chips on the back of this thing just get uncontrollably hot. So the heat that this system pumps out is almost exclusively dumped off the back plate of the GPU. Now, there's two things about that. One, that's a known issue, and also it's not it's a Gigabyte Gaming OC, and those tend to be sort of decent but not great, absolutely outstanding cooling solutions. So I got, for the office machine, one of these. So I have the Tough Gaming 3080 Ti, and within a couple of percentage points, the 3080 Ti is the same performance as the 3090, but with half the amount of RAM. So I'm using that because it's very equivalent, and also I've got the Threadripper here, and then in the office I've got a 5950X. So the CPUs, it's I was originally calling the one I built in the office Baby, because it's like a baby Threadripper version of what I have here. It's now called Trooper. But yeah, I was trying to build something as close to this but smaller. So it's built on a mini DTX motherboard, and it's just all a little bit less, but almost as powerful. I love it. It's great. Yeah, so I've got an AIO for the CPU in this machine here. This test bench, in fact, here's a hot tip for you. This one. These are the coolers that I'm using, air coolers. So these are relatively inexpensive. These are about 50 quid, so you can get them for about 50-60 bucks in the US. It's a dual fan cooler that supports, it doesn't support Threadripper, but it supports, AM4 and all of the recent Intel varieties. But this has a couple of interesting properties, most of which is these fans are amazing and are as quiet and shift as much air as the Noctua 14Us. So these are the air coolers that I'm using, and it's that air cooler that I'll be putting on this test system. And I have one of these air coolers in my build in the office, and that's in a pretty small case. It's in a, let's go to the internet again, that button, there we go. So the case I'm using in that there office is one of these. Oh gosh, they need, there we go. So this is the case I've got in the office. So it looks like a tower case, but it's tiny. It's for an ITX. Well, it is actually designed for an ITX. But I did some sums, and I've, without any modifications at all, there's only one mini DTX board on the market for AM4 that's modern. And that is this. And this is the Crosshair Impact. And so I've got this mini DTX board in it. And this is fab. It's amazing. So that has it's ever so slightly bigger than mini ITX, mini DTX board. And so it's still got one PCI 16X slot, but it has what looks like an SO-DIMM slot, which takes a daughter board, and on that, and the daughter board comes in the box, and the daughter board is where you house your M.2 drives. So it takes two M.2 drives, and it's also got a bunch of additional RGB headers and fan headers and what have you. And that comes in like a heatsink shroud. So you can get, and then it's got a really high quality sound card on an M.2 slot on the motherboard, where you would normally find you know, your M.2 drives. So yeah, I've got, so this is a small box. It's, you know, it's only, well, in fact, we'll look at the dimensions here. There we go. What's that? 18 inches tall. You know, it's a fairly small chassis. It's really nice to work in. And it's got one of those coolers in it, and they're not small, but it fits this cooler just fine. And in fact, I've not just got those fans, but I've put two additional fans in mine above and below, so it sort of pulls all the way through the system. And idle, it runs at about 40C, and it's entirely air cooled. And when it's under load, it gets to about 68, which I think is pretty reasonable considering how dinky tiny it is. What we got here, the Co-Link Big Chungus. Is it actually called the Big Chungus? Oh, okay. Overclockers, that seems like a good place to go. They've usually got good good information. Okay, so that's, yeah, I kind of like the, I mean, I haven't got the space for something as big as this, but I do like some of these interesting designs that are all jaunty angles and what have you. Yeah, that looks quite good actually. Maybe I should get this to rehouse this one. So I've got a very old case for this Threadripper. It's a Corsair Carbide 540. And it's great because it takes up to eATX motherboards, which is what I need for Threadripper. And I deliberately bought this because it was massive and I knew I could keep it for years and just keep building in it. But it's a bit boring. This is way more fun. I could fit in that case. Let me room for poping. Oh boy. If it's that big, it's impressive. Or maybe I'll live in it. Interesting. Is this? It looks like it must be relatively new because it's got USB-C on the front. So this isn't like from the Dark Ages or anything. It's current. It's a showcase. Yeah, as is as is this one. This is absolutely a showcase, and it does a fine job actually. I think a prototype of this did the rounds about 9 months before it was released, and it got some panning because it had no ventilation around the bottom or the sides, and little at the top. It was like it was all glass, and it was like a fish tank, so it was just going to suffocate, you know, GPUs. But they took the feedback on board, and they've added well, it's perforated all the way around, and every one of those perforated areas has got air filters in it, and they're all magnetic removable, so it's toolless design. I mean, I don't work for Thermaltake, but I was really impressed with it. I thought this was a fantastic thing to build in. And actually, I say I built in it. I intended to build in it, but my daughter showed an interest, so my daughter built her first PC, and this was the...
Thank you for the follow, 15x Destroyer.
Hello. Hey, Sam, what are you doing up? I'll tell your dad. Oh, it's the school holidays, I suppose it's fine. Hello, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Sam, should I say who you are, or shall I keep my mouth shut? Thanks for that. Thanks for that. You don't mind. So, in chat is 15x Destroyer, and that's Popey's son. Who, by the way, is a bit good at CSGO. So I think you've got a YouTube channel by the same name, right, where you post your sort of highlights and what have you. Right, well, there we go. Wasn't that a lovely chat? My beer's empty. I don't think I should be starting another one at 1:45 in the morning. So I think I'm going to knock it on the head here. Sorry, Sam. I guess you've just finished playing games. Is that why you're still about? Right, let's move these things out of the way so I don't forget to do it in the morning. There we go. There's that one. Let's move VS Code back up to where it needs to be. Over here. We can close that down. There we go. And move this back over here. Right then. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Sam. It's tomorrow. Well, thank you for stopping by. Right. Yeah, and you, FX Boy, have a good one. Thanks everyone for stopping by. For those of you that are in Europe, I'll be live tomorrow morning, sometime between 8 and 10, doing some nerdy stuff, learning some new things, and like I say, want to continue that conversation about benchmarking exotic GPUs. So if you've got thoughts on that, stop by and let's put something good together. But until then, I'm going to say good night, I think. So thank you all very much for stopping by. Oh, nearly 4 hour stream. I didn't anticipate that. And most of it's been just chatting and shooting the breeze. Oh. Yeah, I'm not the CEO of Linux. I'm the project lead for the for Ubuntu Mate, and one of the core projects contributors for Mate Desktop. So yeah, I work on the software, make the OS. Hello, Eric. Everyone's coming out the woodwork now. I've just said I'm about to pack it in, and a bunch of people turn up. Yeah, oh, our podcast. Do get practicing. Yeah, I think I'm free this Sunday. I think maybe we might need to reprise our role as the Premier Hotshot Racing League, and yeah, put some fresh tyres on the cars and get out there and go at it again. I think maybe I'll start with not like 8 people all at once, because you can remember the difficulties we had rendering, you know, 8 live players all at once. I'm not sure I want to throw myself into that all at once, so maybe just a couple of us get together and reacquaint ourselves with the complexities of multi-party nanosecond. And if none of you ever seen this, we do real-time live multiplay, so connected from all over the world onto this honking Threadripper, all playing real-time racing games. It's absolutely fab. Well, I think it's fab. It's a lot of fun. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, Whom. I'm not sure what all those other letters should abbreviate to. Thanks for stopping by. I'm streaming here regularly again. I've just picked things up again after some vacation time and taking a little break from streaming, but I'll be streaming most days. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about Linuxy stuff, give us a follow. Yeah. We get into all sorts here, gaming and building PCs and making operating systems, the whole schnitzel.
Thank you for the follow, Whom_street_nt_ve.
Right then, I do not crash the cars a lot in hotshot racing. I'm very good. I think I was only narrowly nudged out of a season win by Eric, mostly down to bugs in the game, not recognising that I'd actually won races that I'd won. Yes, they're good fun. I think we should pick that up. I needed a little break from that, but I think I'm ready now. I'm ready to come back. And there's some other games, other racing games that look like fun as well. I want to have a crack at. Yeah. No, it's definitely a bug. When I lose a race because it can't count properly, it's a bug. Right, okay everyone, thank you all very much for coming. Do stop by tomorrow, do follow if you haven't already, and we'll be doing more of this over, well, forever and always. Actually, there's going to be a lot more of this going on, so I hope to see you all here again soon. Thanks very much for coming. Good night, and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.